There are some great astrology podcasts out there, and if you like what you hear every day, would you consider sharing the love with a 5-star review on Apple Podcast? And if you have a suggestion, please, by all means, drop it in the chat at funastrology.com. TGI Friday, everybody. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast, July 12th. Thanks so much for stopping in here. I promised you yesterday we were going to be quick today. There's not a lot of reason to linger on this. It mostly is something that I wanted to point out because of just where everything in the world is right now. The aspect of note is that Mars, obviously the planet of aggression and accidents and anger and power and thrust, is conjoining Uranus. They will be at the same degree Monday morning at 10:04 a.m. Eastern Time. That degree is 26 minutes, 19 degrees of Taurus. Now, as you know about Uranus, especially Robert Glasscock talks about it, that it also, on the highest timeline side, is our hidden genius. I think of Wayne Dyer's Music Still in You. You know, he said, don't die with the music still in you. Do what you want to accomplish while you're on this planet. That's your hidden genius. It's also radical innovation. I mean, it rules Aquarius, so just think of everything Aquarian. It pretty much fits Uranus as well. Independence, change, technology, astrology, new ideas, new paradigms, all of that cocooned inside Uranus. Now, we've been feeling this energy. This is just when we got to it on the podcast. But I didn't want it to slip up on you by something happening over the weekend collectively. Because on the shadow side of this, it could be a collision of surprise. And that could be anything, or maybe nothing. But I'm just saying, the astrological symbolism is there for a big surprise. Now, Uranus doesn't discriminate good, quote-unquote, or bad, quote-unquote, surprises. So this is why I think it really is important this coming weekend for us to stay on our A game spiritually, because there is so much upside to this aspect that you don't want to miss that part, and at the same time, you don't want to be surprised by what might be going on in the lives of others. I mean, now, are we really that surprised by stuff anyway? That much? Kind of like we're getting used to it. But this one has some octane to it. Last time these two were in this same position was back on August 1st, 2022, so you could go back and reflect on what happened then. Time before that was January 20th, 2021. That was Inauguration Day for the current administration, actually. And then go back one more to February 12th, 2019. So that gives you several to hop back, and you see with Mars on about a 2-year orbit, they are about every couple of years. So a high timeline play of inspiring your genius over these next few days. Be on the alert for some intuitive inspirations, and also be on the watch around you for what might be taking place that others are not aware of this aspect and its meaning. Now let's wrap up the weekend prep talking about the moon. The moon is still in Libra, but it goes into a long 16-hour void of course tomorrow evening, I guess is when this begins, 6:48 p.m. Eastern. It squares the sun. The moon squares the sun and goes void of course for 16 hours and then enters Scorpio Sunday morning at 10 minutes before 11 Eastern Time. So your Saturday night is going to be basically moon void of course, as will be some of your Sunday morning, depending on what time zone you're in. And then we will have a deep, passionate, intense Scorpio moon for the next couple of days, including during the Mars-Uranus conjunction. Oh boy! Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be fun. So there you go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. But do stay in touch with your highest timeline, with your inner self. That's going to be the way through this, and you'll get some really cool inspirations, I think. All right, have a great one. I love you. Mwah. See you back on Monday.